are the Avengers?
This war is one I have to fight alone.
Marvel Television has really been a hit or miss for me. For the past 3 years, Disney Plus has given us various different things, whether we're talking about WandaVision, Hawkeye, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and all the different things on there. And while things like WandaVision and What If have been great, Hawkeye has been kind of like mid, She-Hulk has been okay, Ms. Marvel was pretty decent, what have you. It's been, an up and down roller coaster. I don't think that I'm going to go next year. I'm not as bad as a critic as some fanboys out here, but I'm also aware that it hasn't been the greatest viewing experience. But that being said, the fact is I don't expect everything to be comic book accurate. I don't feel that every production needs to be perfect, and I set my expectations to the specific content that I'm looking at, and it is judged independently of everything else. So while I'm not a complete comic nerd, I love watching comic inspired content, and I like the action and spy genre type of content. Therefore, for Secret Invasion, I'm going to categorize myself as a main character. But as usual, I'm always going to go and actually give some tidbits for casual viewers. You see, I watched the first 2 episodes of new streaming content on the streaming platforms to see if they're worth your time. If that sounds intriguing to you, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe. And now, let's get into this review. So Secret Invasion premiered on Disney Plus in June of 2023. It has 6 episodes in this first series, each about 55 minutes. It stars Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, Ben Mendelsohn as Talos, and Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill. So it's basically about Nick Fury and Talos trying to stop the Skrull invasion that's happening on Earth. They've assumed some high offices and leveraged positions, that of the Skrulls. And now there's a bigger threat to basically make this a Skrull-only planet. So that's the plot that's going in for Secret Invasion. So let's figure it out of what us main characters are looking for in this. First of all, we're looking for a good plot. And the way that Marvel has structured their universe, there needs to be connectivity that are coherent in the current Marvel universe. I also need action. I need something to go ahead and actually really whet the appetite for the action. I'll bring down expectations to street level heroics versus superhuman ones, kind of meaning that I'm expecting some good hand-to-hand fights, and some gun battles and probably some explosions. I won't expect things like Thor, Hulk, Captain Marvel type of abilities here, because television production is lower. Now I know the Skrulls are superhumans themselves, as being aliens, but the battles and the actions going forward are going to be pared down to regular humans engaging with them, and probably some cool weapons. So I'm practical in that. Now for casuals, the casuals will love a good story and some good acting if they can get it, because they're just going to be like, hey, do something to draw me in. And I think for both mains and casuals, we're looking for some cameos that would excite us and kind of hype, get us a little bit hype. Now that we've listed what some of us are looking for on there, let's take a look at the characters. Now in the character of Fury, we get Samuel L. back, but he's not quite the badass that he's been in the franchise. He's older, he was a victim of the blip, and his agency is gone. There's no more S.H.I.E.L.D. He's kind of lost. He only returns because this invasion has a lot to do with him and his broken promises. His abandonment from the Skrulls way back also has a lot to do with this. Now Samuel L. is really going for it in this role. If you just really pay attention to it, he's trying to find the strength and resolve to right what he did and didn't do way back when. And his acting is great. It kind of sucks there won't be a lot of scenes of him doing hand-to-hand combat, but both in real life and in the show, Fury is older, and that's not his move. His move is to be smarter than everyone else, and he still can bring that haunting personality when he wants to. So he still can go and actually be Samuel L. Munda Jackson, okay? He can still do that, and he brings it in a couple times in that first couple episodes. Ben Mendelsohn as Talos is doing pretty well as his character is trying to be the mediator between Fury and the rest of the Skrulls. At this point, Talos has lost his wife, his daughter, and his place among the Skrull Council. He's trying to hang on to the fact that everyone can live in harmony, both humans and Skrulls. But Fury nor the Skrulls believe that that's possible. So the acting for both Samuel L. and Ben Mendelsohn are top notch, very good. And Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill is good at her part as well. The rest of the cast is okay. Some are decent, not too much to write home about, although I will say Olivia Colman as Sonia Fallsworth is noteworthy. And she has one scene that was like really cool. You know, come to think about it, there's a scene with Samuel L. and Don Cheadle, who makes a cameo in this one. I'm not spoiling anything, but it's been in the trailers. But there's actually a really cool scene with them that I think they kind of bring it right there. So overall, I would go and actually say the acting is kind of like a B plus for the whole series, at least for the first 2 episodes. So I'm going to say that both mains and casuals will enjoy the acting in this. Plot is pretty much spelled out in the title. It's a secret invasion of Earth by the Skrulls, okay? The storyboarding is pretty decently paced. It moves slow in spots, but so did WandaVision in its first episode. And this is an espionage plot, so they have to go and actually show all the players, the consequences, and build the story. So I'm good where the story is crafted. The Skrulls have good reason to be doing what they're doing, and we believe in both sides, which makes this an interesting watch. So for the story, I'm going to say that both mains and casuals can go and actually vibe with this. A couple things to just go and actually make note of on here is that the action is so-so. Again, street level fighting versus superhuman stuff, so I'm looking for street fighting. The choreography and a few of the action scenes were decent, nothing to go crazy over, but it was decent. Now, I do hope that we get some cool gadgets or weapons or something to kind of ramp up the action going forward. There seems to be a promise of maybe Skrulls go ahead and actually augmenting their powers, so that might come into play and kind of, you know, really ramp up the action. But for what I've actually saw in the first 2 episodes, it's decent, you know, nothing crazy or what have you. But those are my initial thoughts for Secret Invasion, just kind of laying it out there for you. What's my verdict? I'm going to go ahead and actually say for main target audiences, go ahead and actually watch the whole series. The production, the acting, and the story are all good to great. The story has the possibility of reaching into the rest of the Marvel Universe in a very substantial way. And it seems to be a very good story, one of the better ones on Disney Plus in the movie sphere. For casuals, I'm going to say watch the first episode. The first episode will give you a good idea of what's to come, and you'll be able to figure out if this is for you. Because the production value is so high, you'll be entertained for that episode, even if it isn't your thing, and you'll be able to make that decision. So again, for my mains, go ahead and actually watch that whole first series. For casuals, give it a 1 episode watch. And that's what I have for Secret Invasion on Disney Plus. Check it out.
One last fight.
I appreciate you sticking around for the entire review. I really do. Do me a favor. Click like, share, subscribe if you liked anything that was going on here. If you didn't like anything, just go ahead and actually leave me a comment below. I always try to make the channel better. But go ahead and actually do me a favor. Watch one of these other videos that the algorithm seems to think that you might like of mine. Until the next review, I'll holler at you. Take care of yourself.